Good evening, everybody. DJ Styles, your custom corpses. Give me a second. Ah, all right. Let's see if I'm in frame. If we go any further with that, go to my channel. All right. Getting this up a little bit. Well, everybody, let's wait and see if we have anybody come on. One watching. That's me. I need you guys to say hello because I got a lot of information to share with you. I got a ton of fruit flies in this house. They're driving me crazy. I came home to a bunch of fruit flies. In case you don't know, I had my massive surgery. And yes, I'm dropping weight rapidly already. It's only been a week. And I'm going to show you my scars on my stomach. I know I'm a fat bod, so I still have some swelling here. And this shirt doesn't fit anymore. It's crazy. I'm losing my shoulders. Two watching, say hello because I've got some information. I want to know who's on with me. Sorry for my throat being a little sticky. I've been working on. I've been working a lot on my computer, doing a lot of stuff on there. Uh, Let me see something here. Yeah, say hello, guys. I'm waiting for some people. Rodrigo Gasman, you buddy. So I've got some information. I just got out of. I got my surgery done, and as you can see it in my face. I've lost a lot of weight in my face already, and it's only been 1 week since I actually went under the knife. 1 o'clock last Thursday afternoon, I was put to sleep, and they did the gastric bypass surgery, and it was successful. But it took them a long time because they thought they found a mass right under my sternum. And the doctor said he's never seen anything like this before. Uh, and we figured out what it was. It, I had what do you call it? MRI done. And then an MRI turned out to be negative. They biopsied it. I would have heard by now if it was anything because they biopsied it and it takes 5 to 7 days. And today was the seventh day. So if there was anything, I would have been hurt. I would have been pulled in right away. So that's negative. Now, what it was and what had happened, it took him forever. I was out for 5 hours for the surgery. And normally that surgery is only 2.5 to 3 hours maximum. And he had said to me, um, he's never been under that much stress before. He had to call on a different doctor to biopsy while I was under. biopsy that section that was in my sternum. So there was a fat that was right over top of my muscle. All right. The thing it turned out is once he was done, he realized, especially after he saw the MRI, that what is that noise? Oh, Alexa, thank you for the alarm.
You are so very welcome. Hope you've had a good Thursday.
You can shut the alarm off now, Alexa. I have to take my drink. Okay. So we're at this.
Not sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, say goodnight.
Have a good night. Sleep well.
You too. Funny. And I'll explain all this stuff. So, Alexa, go quiet. Notice I'm only drinking a cap of this. And I'll explain the whole thing. But let me explain the surgery first. So I was out for 5 hours from 1 p.m. till 6 p.m. And what basically happened was they saw that mass, took a sample. He had a really hard time routing my uh, intestine to the lower intestine. Now, how this happens is, say it's like kidney shaped. I'm trying to see. It's like that, your stomach, something like that. Anyway, you try to get it in frame. Your stomach is kind of kidney shaped, right? All right. Now, what happens is they cut away about from this section over, all this gets taken away. All right. And you're left with a really small pocket, and that's basically about the size of a hard boiled egg. All right. So they literally cut the stomach, um, most of it off, but they don't remove it. That stomach is sewn up and it's still attached because there's a lot of blood vessels that are attached to that stomach, the portion that's still in there. So it stays in place. It doesn't go anywhere. But what they do is they just cut it and then they sew it together so it's useless. And then your new stomach is here. And then what happens is basically this little tiny pocket, and then they take an intestine. They take the part that was right here, the bottom of your stomach, where it ties into the normal place. They take that away, take a piece of intestine, and then bring it down and go back into another section of your stomach, another section of your intestine, the lower part of your intestine. So um, this way, it's called a bypass. That's the reason why it is a bypass. And the whole point of it is it speeds up your metabolism naturally, but you don't absorb as much nutrition. So you really have to really eat perfect. And I have no problem because I have a lot of willpower. I really do. And so far, knock on wood, I've followed everything to a T. Now, let's get back to the reason why he had so much trouble, especially reconnecting um, the section down there because he was dancing around this mass. Well, here it turns out, after the MRI was done, that he didn't know that my core muscle tissue was very, very thick and very strong. I'm an ex-swimmer, a scuba diver, a high diver. I had an extremely strong core. Even my lower abdominals are still strong. As big as I am, as heavy as I am, as fat as I am, I still have an extremely strong core. Now, I've had other doctors tell me that were examining my back and couldn't figure out why I wasn't in a wheelchair because of how bad my back was. Well, it was because of my core that has kept me out of a wheelchair. So, with that being said, everything seems to be good. I've got a new lease on life. And let me explain something else. This doesn't happen very often, not as fast as it did. Uh, this surgery, if you're diabetic, as long as your numbers are low, which mine were, uh, if your numbers are low, there's a good chance that this surgery will cure you of diabetes. All right. So, with that being said, it usually takes after you lose some weight before your pancreas is giving you enough insulin to keep up with your body mass, if that makes sense. So I thought, okay, I'm probably going to lose about 80 pounds before I become non diabetic. Well, it's unbelievable. The minute I came out of surgery, I was no longer diabetic. I'm cured of diabetes with this surgery. Uh, it's amazing. The surgery is absolutely amazing. It is very painful to get done, especially the 2 days after surgery. It's usually the first day you're kind of still, you're sore, but you're not really feeling that stomach muscle burn yet, because when they cut through that muscle and the stronger your stomach muscles are, the harder it is on you. So I know I'm not looking at the camera enough. So basically, that's why I was in agony. And I didn't take any uh, narcotics except for the second morning. That I took the, what was it called? Oxycodone that morning, but I only took one dose. And it was just enough to where I can get up out of the bed and move around. And once I moved around a little bit, the pain was a little bit less. It's kind of hard to explain. You can't overdo it, but if you sit still, the pain is worse. So you want to move around a little bit. Um, so I got up literally the same day I had surgery. I was up walking in the hallway, but I overdid it. And then the next day I was even more sore, and that's why I had to take that oxycodone in the morning. But I only took the one dose. Now let me explain why. Well, there's a couple reasons why I don't like taking any kind of narcotics, and they're for obvious reasons. But the biggest reason is because they're messing with my stomach. All right. The one thing that happens with any narcotics is you get very, very compacted. You can get, you know what's the word? I'm really lethargic. But anyway, you get backed up. You can't crap. You can't. You got to go to number two. Forget it. You ain't going to go. Especially if I had stayed on oxycodone the whole time I was there, and I could have, but I would have never had a bowel movement. Um, and I'm kind of sensitive to that for some reason. But with this surgery, the last thing I wanted to do is get on that toilet and strain. Can you imagine how bad you're hurting already, and then you got to strain your muscles to crap out a log? So by the third day, I was already having a lot of relief where I can get up and down pretty easy and not too bad. Um, on the third day, late in the afternoon, I actually had a bowel movement and I clogged the damn toilet, but it was a bowel movement. And they came in, they were like, "Oh my God, I guess you're okay." Yes, because that's one of the things they want from you when they want to make sure that you have a bowel movement and they want to make sure that you're urinating normally. So I did all those things with flying colors. Usually it takes 4 to 6 days before you have a bowel movement, and I did it in three. Um, but that was because I suffered a little bit and I didn't use narcotics. I'm putting this down for anybody that might think about getting the surgery, the gastric bypass surgery. I'm trying to give you a little heads up to what you're going to go through. So, needless to say, let me see if I can show you guys my stomach and what they do. First, I got to drop this down a little lower. All right, now I have to bring this down a little bit. All right, let's see. So basically, this is my upper chest area. All right, now that's where my boobs are. Now I'm still swelling here, guys. That's what you're seeing mostly is swelling. That's going to go down. I've already lost, but the swelling doesn't change my weight, which is really weird. Um, okay, so there's I think 5 entries of where they go in. All right, which side is which? All right, this side is one of the smaller tubes. All right, this is they go in like laparoscopically. You know, it's basically tubes. They don't cut you wide open like they used to or anything like that. So the biggest incision is this one and this one. These two are the biggest incisions right here. Um, I think this one here is literally 2 inches, 2 inches long. All right, that one here is about 1.5 inches. That's right above the belly button. Now, on this side, right here, right where my finger is, I'm trying to see. Yeah, let me turn it so you can see it a little bit. Yeah, you see that little mark right there? All right, now a tube goes in there for drainage. A tube goes into your stomach, and it goes up, but it's not into your stomach. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The tube is sitting inside of you, and it goes up to about the stomach right here. All right, but it's not inside the stomach. It's not in any kind of intestines. It's sitting on the inside where fluid from the swelling and stuff, fluid and some blood, and that drains. And there's a bag that's hanging out of me, and that drains all the pus and the fluid. It's not really pus. It's just fluid and blood, a little bit of blood, and that was in for pretty much right up until I left. They wanted to make sure all of it was out of me. But I'm going to tell you experience, man. When they clipped right here, there was a little stitch there holding the bag in, along with some tape and stuff. And then they clipped the stitch, and when they pull that out, man, sharp pain, man, right across here because it came out tough. Now, some people say it doesn't, it just feels like something swimming inside your stomach because they never feel the pain. But me, I got pain. Alexa, shut the alarm off, please. Thank you. So I got pain because it was in for 6 days. Alexa, stop the alarm. Now, there's another cut over here. There's one right there. So let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entries. So there's 5 entries that go with the surgery. Now, this is invasive because what they have to do is right here is where your liver is. All right. And the reason why you're on a liquid diet for 2 weeks prior to even getting the surgery, they want your liver to get soft because they have to move it about 2 inches over to get to the stomach. All right. And once they get that moved over, they can work on the stomach. If your liver is hard, which it can be if you're still eating regular food, solid foods, makes your liver a little harder and it can bleed. So they want that liver nice and soft. So what they do is they move the liver over, they work on the stomach. As you can see, the stitch is like right here. That's one of the entries. It's like literally right where your stomach is. And it's the biggest entry. That's where most of your work's being done right here. So, and Believe it or not, though, where I'm still feeling pain is here. Um, not far enough back. There's a stitch here too. Yeah, that's the other hole. I thought you saw that on camera, but there's an right here. I still got a lot of pain. Everywhere else is pretty much subsided. Not feeling any more pain. But at the end of all this, I hope to get all this flesh cut off because it's going to be hanging off of me in about a year. So that's what I've gone through for the last 6 days. It's actually seventh day. Today was the day that I actually got my surgery at 1 p.m. last Thursday. Today is Thursday. Last Thursday, I got my surgery at 1 p.m. and I didn't come out of it until 6 p.m. And man, it was a ride. It was a fun ride. So yeah, so there's a lot prep. I don't normally want to show off my stomach because I mean, I ain't nothing to look at, trust me. But I showed you, I wanted to document this on YouTube about how this procedure went. And yeah, it's going to be unbelievable. And the thing is, they cured my diabetes and it happened right away. I literally came out. My numbers since the surgery, since the day of the surgery that night, my numbers have been like when I still going to test it. I'm going to keep testing it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. My sugars. I can't get my sugars out of the 90s every time I take a sample. At the highest I seen it, and that was after eating pudding, straight sugar, was 102. Now that's normal, well below normal. It usually rides anywhere from 90 to 98. That's where my sugar is now when I take my sugar sample. Now the A1C, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be probably under 5. It'll be around 4 or something like that. I don't know. A lot of you guys probably don't know too much about diabetes and sugar numbers and stuff like that, but some of you might. Um, so they fixed me. They literally cured me of my diabetes. The doctor came in after 3 or 4 days, and I didn't know it. I didn't know it. They were taking my sugar. They were pricking my finger and then, testing my sugar levels and everything. And it took about 3 days, and he came in and he says, "I got news for you. You're no longer diabetic." He said, I guarantee you 99.9% cured. You are cured. He said, I would bet my house on it that you are no longer diabetic and you never will be again as long as you don't overdo it with anything. And there's no way I'm going to ever be able to overdo it. Um, Now, let me explain the hard part after surgery. The first week, you're on a liquid diet, which I was in the hospital up until the seventh day, actually. No, was it the sixth day? No, I was in there for 6 days. I came home 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the sixth day. Um, my blood pressure has been dropping because I have heart medication I'm on. So I have to balance that. I've been taking less blood pressure medication um, because I take my blood pressure medicine isn't for blood pressure. It's for the arrhythmia that I had in my heart, but it also affects the blood pressure. So they went from 120 grams, 20 milligrams, 120 milligrams, down to 60. And that's still too much. So now I'm literally down to 30 milligrams a day for my heart arrhythmia. And my pulse has been 67, 58. It stays in the 50s and 60s. Pulse is perfect. Haven't had any issues there. Haven't had any flutter. Um, my blood pressure, now that I've got pretty close to perfect, has been about 117 to 123 over 77 to about 82. So That's perfect blood pressure. He actually said that I have the blood pressure of a 18-year-old kid. So that's amazing to me. I just, holy shit. Well, I never really had high blood pressure, never. And that's why I'm struggling with keeping the blood pressure high. It goes down as low as 105 over 68. That's pretty damn low, so anyway. So the tough part is these Fairlifes. If you can see this, that's 30 grams of protein per bottle. All right. I have to get 3 of these bottles in me, and my stomach is very, very small. All right. A day. I need 90 grams of protein, and that's 3 of these 30s to get the full 90 grams. But the way I have to eat is literally every 13 minutes, which is a matter of fact, where am I at? I got my little chart, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute. All right, I did that one. 6:15. Yeah, that's 6:21, 6:13. Hold on, yeah, that's checked off. That's checked off. Seven, did that one. Did that one. Now I got to do another protein. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. Alexa, shut the alarm off. Now, I'm pouring this into this little cup. That's 1 ounce. That's 1 ounce. I can only do 1 ounce at a time. And I'll show you what I'm doing after I drink this. That's another thing. Can't use straws because they don't want you to digest any air. And I have to sip slow because I can't just swallow this whole, because that'll constitute air as well, and it can also make me regurgitate or throw up. Fun, fun, fun days ahead. I pretty much almost, even when I take the whole thing into my mouth, I just a little bit, I just let it kind of run down my throat. All right, so now explain the diet. And this is documented for people that might be doing this at some point in their lives. All right. Now, because I wasn't getting enough, um, I wasn't getting enough uh, um, liquid. I need a lot of liquid. I increased this instead of 4 times every hour to 5 times every hour. All right. Now, I literally have to go. Now, I started at 9 a.m. today, and I didn't start at 6 a.m. because I don't get up that early. But you literally have to go and do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours out of the day. I have to do this. Every 13 minutes, I have to drink something. All right. So I start out, let's just say I do get up at 6:30 in the morning or 6 a.m. Top of the hour. 6 a.m. First thing I do is drink 1 cap of protein. 13 minutes later, I have to drink 1 cap of Gatorade mixed with water because I don't want too much sugar going into me. Same thing the whole time as Gatorade with water. All right. So the hour, it'll be 6:21. That's 13 minutes later. I take another protein. And then 6:34, which is 13 more minutes later, I take another protein. That's only the very first hour. I do 3 proteins on my first hour being awake. And then my last Gatorade is at 6:47 a.m. All right. And that's the last Gatorade. Now, because I started down here, I have to go at midnight and 1 o'clock up to this point up here. So you see how they're checked off? That's everything I've had today, up to even now, all the way down here. Now, at noon, or actually the morning hour, when I first woke up, first thing I took was my blood pressure and my blood sugar right here. My blood pressure was 126/80. Now, I had just taken my heart medicine at 9 a.m. That's what time I take that. All right. And then I take it at 9 p.m. again. All right. So at 9 a.m., my blood pressure was 126/80, which is almost perfect, especially being 64 years old. And my blood sugar was 90. All right. And I took my blood pressure again along with my sugar at 12 p.m. And my blood pressure was 127/78. And then my sugar was higher because I've had a lot of these sugars here, was 102. But I couldn't maintain my sugar. My sugar level still dropped even after like continuously adding more of the Gatorade. Later on at it was actually 4 p.m. when I took my sugar. It says 3 to 4. Well, it was actually 4 p.m. when I took my sugar and my blood pressure again. My blood pressure last checked was 123/83. All right. My sugar was 90, like it was in the morning when I first woke up. So it's telling me my sugars are not fluctuating high at all. They're just staying 90 to 100. So I take my blood pressure and my blood sugar again at 9 p.m. along with my heart medicine. And I continue on because I don't stop here at 9 p.m. I have to go back up here for 2 more hours for to continuation. But it says 6 a.m. But it's actually going to be 10. It'll be 10 p.m. to 11 and 11 to 12. Oh yeah, and I do have to do 3 hours. 12 to 1, and then I go to bed. So this is rigorous, but it's only for 1 week. Um, this diet right here is only for this week. Now, also at dinner time, I didn't have my broth yet, but I usually make up about, I'm going to say about 4 thimbles, 4 of these thimble caps full of a broth that I make, homemade broth, and it's amazing. It really is good for you. It's made up of spinach for iron, also kale for the iron, and God knows what else, but there's a ton of, all right, kale, spinach, celery, onion, beets. You definitely got to have fresh beets in there. All right. And I used a smoked turkey leg to give it that really nice flavor. And I didn't need to add any salt because the turkey leg has plenty of salt in it. And what you do is you boil that, simmer it, not boil it. You simmer it down for all day long. You let that all those vegetables. When you see the beets literally turn like a pale grayish, all the nutrients are now in the broth, and that is a serious pick me up when I drink that. Um, Plus, I have to take a multivitamin every day that is meant for gastric bypass because I have to take this multivitamin for the rest of my life. So I'm going to have to take a B plex, a B2, B6. I can't remember. It was a vitamin B shot once a month if it's affordable. Otherwise, I'll just take a vitamin B capsule. Um, Vitamin B, that's a must. Calcium, I take a Tums twice a day. One Tums, one in the morning and then one at night because I have to have calcium. Uh, and it really is the best thing to use to get into your bloodstream because it's chewable. Anything that you chew or liquid is the best way to absorb any kind of vitamin. I don't I don't take hard tablets, anything. It's all got to be chewable or it's got to be liquid, and especially gummies. Gummies are no good for you. They definitely, and I'm giving you guys a lot of education here all at once in uh, this little, I guess this live feed. I'm very lethargic. I'm tired. I'm really wore out because I've been in here since 9 o'clock this morning working on my computer and bug eyed. Um, and I don't have a lot of energy because right now I'm on a liquid diet with not getting, I'm barely getting any carbs. As a matter of fact, am I getting any carbs? No, I'm not getting any carbs, to tell you the truth. So I've got to figure something out. I also made a pudding, regular, full sugar pudding, black chocolate pudding. And instead of using milk, I take one of these and I put it in. Actually, I think it's like 2 cups. 2 cups of this, no, however much it uses, it's like one and a half of these. These are 11.5 ounces, each one of these. And this is so good for you. And this stuff it's pure protein. There's only 2 grams of sugar in this. There's no carbohydrates. I'm looking at the carbs. Let me see. Okay, there's 4 grams of carbohydrates per bottle. Um, Saturated fat, 1.5 grams. Trans fat, 0. Cholesterol, 25 milligrams. Sodium, 230 milligrams. 4 grams of carbohydrates. Dietary fiber is only 1 gram of fiber. Total sugars. Total sugars is only 2 grams. And what else is on there? Includes 0 added sugars, no added sugars. So if you ever guys get this stuff, man, it's called Fairlife Nutrition Plan. And it's a really good protein shake. And it's meant for people that are trying to lose weight or, whatever, trying to eat healthy, make sure they're getting their protein. But it's expensive, just like anything that we do that's healthy, very expensive. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have to fight to stay awake to get the rest of that stuff in me. Because it's early and I need a nap. I feel like I need a nap and I'm going to take one. But I got to have some broth. I'm going to have some broth. I didn't have any broth yet. Now, let's talk about the mask making and everything that's going on here. Now, I'm pretty much healed up almost. I still have some soreness, but I'm not going to be able to lift anything for quite some time. I can't lift anything real heavy. Like those molds, they're 50 pounds. So I'm probably going to have my buddy lift them and do the dumping for me. Excuse me. Um, but I'm going to make the masks. I have the 24. Let me shut this follow me off of this. The 24 is pretty much done. All right. Alexa, stop the alarm. What time is it? 7:34. Okay, so the 34 mark down here. What am I supposed to have? All right, I got to have a Gatorade right now. Gatorade. Now, this chart that I've been doing, I have to do this, because the doctor wants to see that chart and followed really well. So Um, I need Gatorade. Oh shoot. Hey Angela, can you grab me a Gatorade? I forgot it. Yeah, just give me one. Give me the clear one. I had a red now and then a blue, and now I want a clear one. No, give me a clear. Uh, I just don't want to get up. I'm so my energy's so low. Thank you, dear. I'm live streaming, so I just they can't see you. They're looking at see what they're seeing. They're looking at my desktop here. So just so you know. Oh, you're going out? You and mom? Cool. Love you too. And when we come back, maybe tonight we'll play a game. Sound good? Yeah, let's play something. I don't care, whatever. Um, yo, DJ Styles, good to see you back. Drac Nation, I am back, and I went through hell. Now, if you have to watch this video um, from the start, basically, I'm going to give you a sum up of what I've been talking about. I had my gastric bypass surgery. I showed off my scars on my stomach. Let me show you. I have some scars. Let me back up. They thought they had a mass. Now there's five new belly buttons on my stomach. I'm still swollen. So what you're seeing is not fat. You're seeing a lot of swollen tissue yet. All right. They went in here. Actually, is that yeah, they went in here. They went in here, here, over the belly button, over here, and then there's one spot right over here. Uh, there's one over there, and that's where they had the tube in there for drainage, to drain my stomach. So I was put under last Thursday at 1 p.m. So it's been exactly 7 days today since the surgery. Um, they found a mass in my sternum, which they thought was a mass. Then once the MRI was done and they took a biopsy, they kept me under for almost 6 hours. 5 hours. I'm sorry, 5 hours. I was under for 5 hours from 1 to 6 p.m. And it took them an hour to get me up out of that. It took them an hour to wake me up, um, because I was under for so long. It normally takes 2 to 3 hours for the surgery completed. But it turns out it wasn't a mass, it was fat tissue that was on top of the muscle, which my muscle underneath is very strong. And that's what the MRI revealed. They said, oh, that's only because it's pushing on my stomach and all my internals. The fat that's there on top of the muscle, it's pushed. There's a fat mass that's underneath. It's really bizarre. That's what he said. He says he's never seen anything like it. But he also found out that because my core is very, very, very strong from all the years of swimming and scuba diving and high diving and being an athlete. So my core is still strong as a rock. And they basically said, okay, the mass is nothing. It's not a mass. Everything's good there. So it took them a long time to work around what they thought was a mass. So that's why it took forever. I've explained the diet, everything that I have to do leading up to the surgery and after the surgery. So you're pretty much on a liquid diet for 1 month, 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. The first week is pure liquid. The second week, the only thing they added to my my menu was pudding, that I have to use my Fairlife protein shake instead of milk. I add that to my pudding mix, and I don't use sugar. Here's the greater news is the fact that they cured my diabetes. Completely cured. I haven't had a high sugar since the day of the surgery at 6 p.m. that night. And my sugar has been anywhere from when you take a sugar sample, when they take a little blood, put the little tester on there. It basically showed nothing but um, between 90 and 100 the whole time. So I'm pretty much cured of my diabetes, which is a miracle. I thought I was going to have to lose some weight first before my diabetes would go away. But he said because my numbers have always been fairly low and I was always really being well controlled with my diabetes, they cured my diabetes instantly the minute I had the surgery. So that's amazing for that. Um, so my diabetes is cured. I'm on my way to losing a ton of weight. Oh, and guess what, guys? My hips are barely hurting right now because I've lost so much weight. I've lost 35 pounds in 6 weeks. Now, the majority of that weight came off during these 4 weeks of liquid, 3.5 weeks, 3.5 weeks of liquid diet. Um, Most of my weight came off of that. I'll say all but 8 pounds. I lost 8 pounds eating perfect right up to when I started my liquid diet. And then it really flew off of me. So it's crazy, man. It's not an easy diet. It's not easy at all. Now it's easier now because you don't really have much of an appetite after the surgery. But that first 2 weeks, that 2 weeks prior to the surgery, where you have to be on that liquid diet and your stomach is still normal, man, that is so hard. You could eat the bark off a tree, and I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. But I have an extremely strong willpower, always have. When I set out to do something, I do it. I don't bullshit. I don't play around, and I can't stand being out of shape. And this is one of the reasons why I want to get this done, man. I had to be fixed. So that's the recap. I just recapped what I've been through, showed my scars, what they did. I didn't go over the diet again because that's lengthy. Just go back and watch this video if you're interested in that sort of thing. Some people are looking to do this surgery. Um, you can you can see it. So basically, I'll tell you, I do 5 of these shots an hour, and I have to do it for 16 straight hours. 5 shots. My job right now for this week up until Thursday coming, not today, next Thursday. My job is to make sure that I follow this to a T. And I mean, every 13 minutes, I'm sucking down one of these little capfuls of either Gatorade and water mixed half and half because you don't want your sugars too high, and 2 to 3 caps of protein shakes, but never any more than this much at any serving. And then I have my chicken broth. So I have my chicken broth right here, which I'm getting ready to go make because I need some more broth. Um, I just had my Gatorade. Did I finish? What is time? I gotta see what time it is. 47:43. So I did this. Yeah, we're at the 7 to 8 p.m. Time frame. At 8 p.m. I have to end this. I have to end this stream because my alarm's going to start working on the phone again. I cut the alarms off my phone from 7 to 8 p.m. so we didn't get interrupted on the phone. But I've been using Alexa for my alarms meanwhile to keep track of what I'm doing here. So basically, 1 cap full of fluid, whether it be protein or Gatorade, is at the top of the hour. 13 minutes later, 13 made after that. So I go from, let's say it's, what time is it now? 7:44. So let's say 7 p.m. So the top of the hour, 7 p.m. is the first capful I take. Then 7:13, I take another capful. And then 7:21, I take another capful. And 7:34, I take another capful. And then my last capful for the hour at 7:47. And then it starts at the top of the hour again. And I have to do that for 16 straight hours. And they told me that this is going to be a job. Look at it as a complete job. This is what you have to do for this entire week. But after that, I go into soft foods. I ordered a Vitamix from Prepared Chef, Pampered Chef. Yeah, it's actually a blender. I don't think it's Vitamix. I don't know. I have to find out if Vitamix actually makes it for Pampered Chef, but it's a custom blender that makes literally warms up and cooks soup. You can blend everything up, put it right in there with whatever you're making, and then you puree it, and then it cooks it. So I love sweet potatoes. So I'm going to be making a sweet potato soup. I'm going to make really fresh tomato soups. I can also make homemade peanut butter with this blender. Peanut butter, no kidding, real peanuts, roasted peanuts. You don't have to, maybe a little salt to it, but you don't have to add no oils. It's none of that bullshit that's in the Skippy stuff. It's all preservatives and junk. So you can make peanut butter. Oh, you can make almond milk, your own almond milk. You can make any. You can just do any smoothies. Doesn't matter. It does everything. But it's like 400 and change, almost $500 for that blender. It's well worth it. Pampered Chef is the only one that has this blender, uh, and it's a cooking blender. And it's a, you know what? I can show it to you on the screen. I don't have it yet. It's on its way to me now. But my whole life is going to be so different. I am going to, you're, I'm going to be a health nut beyond health nut because I don't ever want to get back to having diabetes or having all this fat on me. And I don't know with my arrhythmia on whether or not I'll be able to exercise still. I don't know where that's going to follow yet, and we have to see. So yeah, I'm just going through a cure. Let me go to Pampered Chef here. Hold on, Pampered Chef. I'll turn the camera on it once I get it done. Alexa, shut the alarm off, please. It is 7:47. Did I drink my last one? I think I got ahead of myself here. No, okay. I got one more Gatorade to swallow. Only this time I'm going to add some water to it. Little half and half. Let me show you. I put about that much Gatorade, half and half. Sometimes a little less than half. I don't want to get too much sugar in me. I'm not a big sugar fanatic. And that's the thing. Now they're telling me I can have pasta, I can have anything I want, but I'm going to have very small portions. My stomach is the size of an egg. So whenever I eat something, all my portions combined at every meal can only be the size of an egg. That's it. Combined. So think about that. And that's why you're eating so much more frequent. All right, so now I take my water, I top it off. No big deal. Now the next alarm will go off will be 8 p.m. and I have it set on Alexa. But after 8 p.m. I gotta get off because it's gonna revert back to my phone. Now, let me find this blender and I'll show it to you if you guys are interested in anything like this. Kitchen tools, appliances. Here we go. We need a blender. No, blenders. Here we go. Let's enlarge this. Yeah, it's not a bad price, but after taxes and everything, it's $3.99 if you buy it. Well, you have to buy it through. If you guys are interested, anybody's interested in getting one of these, because I know a few guys are really into health. If you're interested, give me your because I can get you a discount through a friend. That's how I bought it through Pampered Chef. I bought it through a friend, and I was able to get like 20% off. But anyway, let me show it to you. Let me make sure that you can see it. I'm sorry, the camera's a little crooked. Let me take a look to see what you're seeing. Okay, there it is. Let me turn this. I'll do the video too. Why not? Oh, I can't because of the delay. Or maybe I can. No, I can't. I can't do the delay because if we have two sound sources, in other words, coming from the camera on top of what this is relaying, and then you'll have all this gibberish. You won't even understand what the hell's being said because there's a delay. So, um, there's videos on it. Pampered Chef. This is the company you want to go to. But this is the blender right here, man. It is amazing the stuff that you can make. Um, they show you like this. Here's the peanut butter over here. All the different soups. Oh, and you can make jams. You can make jellies. Well, not jelly, but jam. Homemade jam, homemade peanut butter, homemade nut. Any nuts, that have enough oil will make a pecans, whatever. You can make a pecan butter, peanut butter. I would say peanut butter, but pecan butter for your sandwiches. Um, anything. Any I don't know about almonds. Almonds don't have a lot of oil in them. You need something that has enough oil to make the butter. What else does she have in here? Oh, tons of fruit like options. This thing's self cleaning because it heats up. So you put a little bit of water in it and a couple drops of dish soap, and then it blends it. It's crazy, man. It is crazy. But this is what I'm going to be eating now. The next stage of this surgery. All right, I'm on this kind of food now for about 8 months before I can have any solids. So I'll be eating like this pretty much for 8 months. Um, Josh Asylum, brother. What's happening, Joshy? Uh, what's happening? I had my surgery. I I don't want to go over it again. If you watch this video from the start, I show the scars. I show the what they do with the gastric bypass. I explain how the diet went. I explain what happened during the surgery. I explain basically every aspect to the surgery. You'll have to watch the video from the start. And I get right into it. I don't wait around. So, uh, yeah, because I don't want to recap all on this again. I gotta jump off of here at 8 o'clock because of my strict every little every little thing you see here that's circled all the way across. I have to drink one of those caps uh, every 13 minutes, all the way down for 16 hours. So every 13 minutes, I have to drink my fluids and my protein. The ones that are circled are all protein, and then the ones that aren't circled are Gatorade mixed with water. And then here, where is it? Is where I had some broth. I had my broth for lunch, and then I'll have my broth as soon as I get off of here. And it's almost time for me to, yeah. But see, this said 6:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 to 7. I started at 9 to 10 because I got up later. So you just have to make sure that you get the full 16 hours of every serving. And the proteins are important. I have to get 34.5 ounces to get my 90 grams. So that's 34. These are 1 ounce cups. I have to get 34 and a half of these cups in me during the course of 16 hours. And God knows how many caps of Gatorade and water. So yeah, man, I'm actually on the mend. Guess what else it cured, Joshy? I'm no longer diabetic. It cured me the minute I woke up. I am not diabetic anymore. My sugars have been perfectly normal. And even when they were putting sugar, because when you're getting I mean, look at all the bruises, guys. I mean, most of them healed up by now. Bruises from the needles and stuff. I had one here. I don't know if that's visible on this arm. I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, somewhere's in here. I had a catheter. A catheter. I had my hands were all bruised up here. They're starting to heal up pretty good. That's where my catheter was. One catheter. You can see how messed up. Like you see those little scabs. They're from the catheter. You can see a little bit of bruising there. It even bruised up in here in the wrist because they had a. I've had two catheters in this hand. One was up here. One no, I had three catheters in this hand. One was up here. Another one was right here. I believe this is it. I'm feeling it. I think that's it. Yeah, it's right there, right where that blood spot is. And then there was another one up in my wrist area. Let me see. And in this hand, this was the main catheter that stayed in me for like literally 5 days. And my hand's still swollen from this. It was really swollen here, but the bruising doesn't look as bad as it did. That really went down. But that little spot right there is from the catheter. And I mean, it was a thick needle too. It wasn't that thin stuff, man. They put me through hell. And then I'll never forget. This is the funniest thing. See, needles don't bother me, not at all. Don't matter how thick they are. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Maybe I get off on them anyway. So I eat pain like candy. So I'm not joking about that. Uh, I never took any narcotics except for one morning, and it was only one dose because I couldn't get out of the bed. That was the reason I had to do it because they needed me walking, and they could have lifted me out of the bed, but I'm too stubborn. So I'm like, okay, give me the narcotic. It'll take the edge off. And then I said, no, no more beyond that. So I didn't take any more after that one dose. And it's a good thing because when I got up, I was able to move around a little bit, loosen me up. And by the time that narcotic wore off, which was like 6 hours, 4 hours, something like that, I was loosened up. I didn't really feel too bad. So I didn't need any more after that. The only thing they were giving me is a little bit of Tylenol, not that much. Most people need the narcotic. I've been dealing with a lot of pain throughout my whole life. So this is just a different type of pain. It's not the same kind as like back pain or hip pain or anything like that. But my pain tolerance, and this is why I say this, it has nothing to do with how tough you are. Your pain can affect your blood pressure. If you can't take a lot of pain, I don't mean mentally, I mean physically, your blood pressure can go through the roof. And they have to give you a narcotic to get that blood pressure down to lessen the pain because that's what's driving your blood pressure up. They couldn't keep my blood pressure up. That was the problem. So even with all the pain, my blood pressure stayed very low. And I was battling that during the time that I was there too. That was the other thing because a lot of that was my heart medicine was driving my blood pressure down. And even all the pain in the world still wasn't helping. But even before the surgery, my pain tolerance was extremely high. Um, I don't mean mental toughness. That's just not the same thing. It's all about your body, how it reacts to pain. So, yeah, it's a tough surgery, and most people do have to take the pain medication. Not because they can't take it. It's because their body says no. My blood pressure's taking you got to take it because your blood pressure's too high. And or they give you some kind of blood pressure medicine, and that's not a wise thing to do when you're recuperating from surgery. I have to because I'm on a but my blood pressure medicine isn't really blood pressure medicine. It's for arrhythmia and it's cardiazam. That's what it's called, and that is to control my arrhythmia, but it also affects your blood pressure. So it's a lot. There's a lot that's been going on. So let me show you one of the masks uh, that are pulled. This is the the 24-inch. This is the 24. Now you notice how the face looks pretty narrow. Well, there's nobody in it, and this head part here is pretty. But that's one of the masks. Alexis, turn the alarm off, please. Yeah, so this is the mask. A 1-to-1, baby. 24.5 inch. The diameter of this is 20. You know what? I want to measure because it's been sitting for a week. I have four masks that have been sitting for a week. I got them poured up right before surgery. I had to because I want to send these off to James Carter to paint and hair them. Where's my tape measure? Where's my measuring tape? I'm trying to remember where I put. Oh, there it is. I'm getting clustered up in here again. All right, let me get this chair closer. In case you want to see how this is measured. All right, let's turn this over this way. Turn it down just a little bit so you can see how I'm looking at this. Just above the ear. 24.5 inches, guys. Right there. Now it's crinkled a little bit here. So it's probably, it's 24.5. Yep, see, it's not changing shape. It's 24.5 inches, guys. Yeah, this mask is really good. It's gonna be incredible. I can't wait to see this thing painted. Yeah, I've got, and there's an, excuse me. Let me pull this down. This got a little crimped up. Why is this doing this? All right, I have to fix this. It's not high enough. Hold on. These little stands, I bought them for like peanuts on, but they don't. All right. They're not real, not real good at. Geez, I hope I can pull this apart. Because I got to lift it. Any weight on these stands are cheap, but they won't stay up. So I literally have to, I can't see. There we go. Now it won't fall down. That's nice and tight. Put that back in there like that. Put that mask back on there. Now it's not touching the base. It's crimping up the neck. Put that back over here. You can see. And we'll turn the camera so it's looking right at it. Now this is the master copy. This is the foam filled copy right here. So, and I core them out. It's still firm. This will make a nice, I can constantly make a new, make a new stone cast from here to make the 24-inch mask. Ah, so where am I at? 47, I did that one. Yeah, I did that one. So it's going to be the 8 o'clock one coming up in about a minute. 8 o'clock drink. Says pain in the ass. You watched since I've been on, you've seen what I've been doing. All right, I got shake up my shake, getting ready to pour it up. Swallow it in about now I've only got 13 minutes after it hits the top of the hour. And then my alarm's going to go off on the phone and shut the up top. That one looks like it's the 26th, but it isn't. It's actually the 20. Let me see. 1, 2, or no, that's 24 and a half. That's 24 and a half, guys. Twenty-four and a half. I have 4 and a halves that I made from the mold. Now in a couple weeks, I'll be able to start making masks again because I'm already healing up pretty good, man. I thought I was going to be in dire straits for like 3, 4, 5 weeks. I didn't know what the hell to expect, but I'm in real good shape. I have a little bit of pain to the left side of my belly button. When I get up and down, I got to really be careful. I don't want to stress anything because I can create a hernia where the scar tissue is. We don't want to do that because I don't want to go back under the knife. Screw that shit for hernias. So I have to be really careful. I'm not supposed to lift any more than 5 pounds for the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer. But I can get my buddy that stays with me to do the lifting for me when it comes to the molds. I can put the latex in it. I can show him how to do it. He's going to have to do it. I can't even lift the latex, so it's too heavy. But he'll have to pour it in, but I'll make sure I slush it around and hammer on it. So no air bubbles and stuff. So you guys like the mask? You like the way it looks? Now you'll see. Now this is the large pool. This is 26 inches right here. This head here, and it might be a little less than that. You see how much wider this looks? That's because it's been foam filled. And it's actually the shape of the mold. You don't lose that width. You don't lose any of that. But when you make a mask, it automatically shrinks and it gets narrower. So you have to account for that when you're making these masks. You really do. You see how much more narrow this face looks compared to that one. But this is also a smaller mask. You can see the size difference. 26, 24 and a half. What's that say? Yes, those. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what that meant, Joshy. You'll have to change that. Now I got a couple imperfections right here on this lip, which I'm going to fix. I'm going to fix that. And I'll go live tomorrow while I'll fix it. So I'll show you how to do this. And it's a combination of latex caulk. All right, so this stuff here is made from Monster Makers. All right. It's a Pro Tack. It's actually, you'll see like on the masks, not this one. Let me show you. From now on, I'm going to do it this way. I got a new method that I'm going to be doing to fix any kind of little pimples or little, you see the little air bubble in this, in the forehead? And you see that glossy stuff? That's the Pro Tack. All right. But you see that little, that's a little tiny pinhole from an air bubble. Um, but I filled it with the Pro Tack. But I don't like that it doesn't fill it perfectly. So what I do is I use latex caulking. I put it over top of I make sure the hole is nice and flush and filled. And then from there, because that's what this stuff is, all this white that's on this mask, that's the latex caulk. Then what you do is you take the Pro Tack and you put it over top of that latex caulk because the latex caulk can then never come off. It'll never come off, and then you can paint over the mask and make a perfect copy. Even if you have one it's got air bubbles and stuff, I can fix that. Latex caulking. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show you guys. Look how perfect these eye cuts are on this mask. That's cut out. Now it's drooping a little bit. But these are thin casted masks. This is a 24 and a half. You know what? Should I put it on for you? Yeah, why not? Let's put this mask on. Now, the 24 and a half doesn't fit me too well. But I can get it on. It stretches out on me. My face is still too heavy for this. The 26 fits me really good. Now you see how my eyes are hidden? Now my chin is right there. My lips are right here. My nose is right there. The tip of my nose is right there. It fits really nice. And my eyes are sunk back in the mask. I purposely did that to the back of the head so you have plenty of room. Look at this, it even closes up nicely. And this mask is still a little tight for me. Now sorry, my alarm went off. My alarm went off, like I told you. Um, what time is it? Yeah, the 6:30, the 8:13 alarm. So now I'm gonna do some. Okay, I don't want to get all sweaty in these masks. Um, yeah, it's very accurate. The eye cuts are perfectly sized. As you can see, my eyes were sunken back in the head. I got a pretty big crown, man. I got a pretty big head on me. So I have to go with the 26. I don't plan on being Michael Myers anytime soon. Uh, but the 20, let me show you how the 26 fits on me. I have a 26 over here. Now the eye cuts aren't as accurate on that because I rushed it and I didn't really care about that 26. Um, but I'm going to show you how that fits me. Actually, yeah, the eye cuts are pretty accurate. This is a 26. Let me show you. Now look how far back my eyes are. And my chin isn't pulling. It's still there, right where it needs to be, but I'm not getting all this pull right in here. Let me get a little closer. Now your eyes are supposed to be at the top of the mask. They're not supposed to be down here or even straight ahead. These are right, my eyes are right here at the top of this because the 26 fits me perfect. Okay, so that's that one. Gives me plenty of room. It doesn't stretch out the eye cuts at all. The other one doesn't either. So if you have a fairly large noggin, the 26 is for you. The reason why it still works is because from the top of the head to the chin line is not real long. You see, I have fairly, well, it's thinning now, but I have a long face. And this mask fits me well because my chin's a little longer than the average. Now, with that being said, if you have a short head, you want the 24 and a half. The width is not really as concerned because the width is pretty wide and you don't lose any of the features. The way the sculpture is, the face itself narrows down in this area. All right. It's wider here where the ears are. The mask is going to be, I'm telling you, these masks are going to be amazing. I can't wait to see them painted up. I got to get these to James Carter. I had to delay everything because of my surgery, you know. So everything kind of got delayed. So you guys think that this is actually very screen accurate, right? Oh man, this chair keeps rolling back. I feel like I'm on a hill or something. It constantly fights me and goes further and further back away from everything that's going on. All right. Can't see what's going on. Yeah, I'm a little flush in the face. I can see that. That's the diet. No, I know it is. So you guys are real happy with that mask, right? Now I'm gonna make a little. I'm gonna criticize my mask just a touch, and where the problem is the nostrils. All right. You see how my nostril is deep, in here, and it caves in right there, and then goes out to the lip. All right. So you got a real deep, rounded cut into your nostril. That's the way that's supposed to be on this, and it's not. And I want to make the cheek lines a little deeper. And I'm going to make, but see, these are going to still be sold the way it is. Um, but I'm trying to make it even more perfect. And what I want to show you, and all that is all I have to do is pour up another little clay head and then make another mold. But it starts out as a 26. I'll make another clay head. And let me show you the issue I have with my sculpture or my mask. All right. Now, take a look at the nostril. It's not deep enough behind the nostril, just like my nostril is. Oops, hold on. See this? It's not deep enough. That has to be deep and more round. All right. The shape of the nose is right. This side's a little better. Actually, yeah, this side's a lot better. But I want those nostril flare outs right. They've got to be more accurate. And I'll get that. I'm not worried about that. Now these little pimples here you see that are on the face. I'll show you. I'll show you real quick how you get rid of those. All right, can we do this on camera? All right, so I got my little Dremel with my little. This is like a what do you call it? First of all, I don't do that with my alarms. Keep going off. All right, so I have to drink some Gatorade. I'm going straight Gatorade. I already know how many swallows I have to take to make a full cap. All right, 7 to 8, 8. We already did. Already did that. And I also have to do a shot because I missed one. I have to do a shot of protein. It got ahead of me. I'm going to fix that problem with that. Let's fix it. And I'll show you how simple it is. Is it that one? Where did I put it? No, it's this one. I'm like, which one did I pick up? That's talcum powder that's in there, and that's plastic. So I always use a plastic. All right, off with the glasses because I'll never see this without the glasses off. So there's a couple spots here. Little pimples here, little pimples here. There's one into the eye cut. I got to fix that. This one here, I'm going to have to fill that lip with latex caulk, and then I'm going to put that glue over top of it. So, and once it's painted, you'll never see it. So I finally found a really good way, a good method to never waste any masks. So what do we want to do first? Let's do a little bit here. Wait a minute. I need to bring the camera down so you can see. I'm really lightly touching this because I'm only trying to take the burrs off, not sand the mask. And then what we do is once we get them off, that's done. Once we get them off, we touch this up with a little naphtha. Am I in frame? That's trying to fight me a little bit, so. Perfect. Perfect. Now this is the tough spot.
Perfect. Little pimple here. Gone. Gone. Now, this is on top of the hair. This is where the hair is, so you're not going to see that anyway. But I'm just trying to show you how perfect this can be. Anything that's little air bubbles that are in this, like the ear here, I just fill them with the caulking and then put the glue on top of it so it can't come out. That glue does not come free. That glue comes straight from monster makers, and it's designed for latex masks. See, like in the jaw here, look at all the little air bubbles. See all those little pinholes? You fill all that in. That ain't no big deal. And tomorrow I'll uh I'll fill these holes and then show you the process of how to fix these. So when you get a mask, you ain't gonna have a flaw on it. So that's the secret, man. And I got baby powder. Well, it's not baby powder. I use starch, cornstarch. It's actually better for masks. Baby powder's got a chemical in it, and I don't like the baby powder in there. But I got all the junk off of that. Now I just got to fill the holes. Man, I got, oh man, it's all over my clothes now. Now you see all the little abrasions that are on the mask. That's from the Dremel. Ah, Jesus. Yep. So I have a new method, and this is all experimental. This is what I did, and I realized, man, it works so good that I didn't need to go crazy. I really didn't. Um, yeah, they're no, actually, even this cheek right in here, like it needs to be deeper in here. It needs to be deeper. You can look at the screen use mask, look at the pictures, and really look at how deep the nostrils are. You know what? I'll do one better. I'll pull up. I think I have a couple. I don't know if I put them in off my phone.
Let's see, did I use any of those? Hold on. Trying to see what the hell did I name it? I'm not sure if this is the screen used mask or not. I think it is. All right, now. See on that picture? Look how deep and undercut the nose is right here. See the undercut that's underneath it here? And more rounded in this area? And see how deep it goes into the nose, into the face? Now, the cheek itself doesn't need to go much deeper on my mask, but the nostril does. They have to be fixed. That's the screen used mask. One of. You get the idea, right? Now you see what I'm talking about? Now you see what I'm talking about? All right, hold on. Shut that off. Let's go back up here. Oops. Wow, what do I have this on Zoom? Jesus Christ, you're seeing into my ear hole. Yeah, I did. I zoomed it. That's right. I zoomed it. You're going to see this old man getting awful skinny. I can tell you that. Okay. You actually created a screen used mask, DJ. Yeah, it's close. It's very, very, very close, man. It just, I knew I had the ability, but I had a lot of learning to do, and I needed a ton of pictures to really hone in on this thing. Now, I'm telling you, the nostril flare outs are still not, they're not cut right. So I have to fix that. But that's going to be the next mold. See, like I said, I can make probably another I can make another 5 or 6 masks from this mold. Um, hold on. That disconnect, guys, every time it disconnects, it's because my alarm's going off and I have to drink the alarm's going off on my phone now. Alexa is done. I cut Alexa off. Alexa off at, I think, 7:47. Yeah. So that was her last alarm. And then everything from that point on has been. I can't screw this up because if I get dehydrated, my blood pressure will drop. So there's, oh man, it's a fun ride, brother. It's a fun ride. Uh, Uh, I got to see how this mask looks painted and haired. I mean, that really is going to make the difference. That's going to make or break this mask. Now, I was talking to James Carter. I don't know if you guys know of James Carter. I know some of you do because you're collectors. I was talking to James Carter. He really loves the mask, but he doesn't paint and hair in the style of the flashback. And he doesn't want to do it. He does not want to paint it and hair it. He's going to take my masks and paint them and hair them as an H1, as an original Halloween 1 mask. That's the way he wants to paint them and hair them. And I'm like, okay, go ahead, do it, man, because anything he touches turns to gold. Everything he's ever done just looks amazing. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to argue that point. So, he's really busy, so I don't know if that mask is going to get done anytime soon. Uh, we have to see. I'm hoping that he can get one done just for promotion. I don't need that mask in my hands or in my possession. I just want him to. I worked out a deal with him, and I'm gonna keep that private. And you know, he's gonna be able to sell and make a few bucks off these masks. And with his work on this mask, I don't doubt this thing's going to sell like crazy. Now, with that being said, once he promotes that, I'm really trying to sell my mask over my website. I don't want to keep selling on eBay because now eBay has become a real nightmare. They're charging a hell of a lot more. And I'm also trying to keep my mask affordable for all of you and everybody. I'm trying to sell this mask. I want to clear 300 bucks. That's it. I don't need to make 500, 600. I need to clear 300. That means all expenses paid, including eBay. If I have to use eBay, that means it's an additional whatever they're going to put on top of that 300 bucks gets added to the price. Same with shipping. Depending on where you live, if you're close to me, then the shipping will be next to nothing. But if you're really far away and if you're out of the country, of course, shipping I'm not paying for, and there's no way. It's too expensive, and that's why I'm trying to keep the price down. I If you're buying from the website, the only thing you have to pay for is shipping and 300 plus shipping. That's the key. 300 plus shipping on the website. But let's before I get the cart before the horse, let's see how this mask looks painted and haired. I'm not going to jump into messing with chemicals yet because my stomach is still healing. I don't want to get anything on my stomach that might cause me some problems. So, with that being said, I've got a couple weeks before I can start painting and hairing these masks. Uh, I can't mess with glues. I can't mess with anything like that. Track Nation, what do you mean? Sold a few items and I was done for good. Yeah, selling on eBay stinks. But the thing is, I'm not known well enough to sell directly on my website. I have to get known. I'm also going to have other products on there. I'm going to have t-shirts, custom t-shirts and stuff. Not custom, but my t-shirts for custom corpses. And I'm looking to get mugs and stuff made with the custom corpses logo. I came up with a really sick logo, guys. I don't know if I showed you any of these. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Let's see if I can find the folder. Nope. 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 I have a funny feeling. Wait a minute. You know what I did? I put it on I put it in my, okay. I already saved it. $20.25. I think no, I put it in 2026. AI. There we go. Yes, I think this is it. Yeah, I'm not going to go with the green eyes. I'm going to show you the logo, the updated logo. Damn it. You watch, it'll be the last damn picture I click. Give me a second, guys. Bear with me. I'm getting to it. Okay. Before I show you guys. This is going to be my logo on hats, shirts. Now it's not going to have the FB. It's just going to be the custom corpses. That's it. That's the logo. Custom corpses. The FB78 and all that stuff is up top. I think it says 1-to-1. That will be on the sticker. FB78. But the 1-to-1 FB78 is only for the, the cards that go onto the masks. But the logo, that's going to be made in depth. Custom corpses. So tell me, what do you guys think of this? What do you think of this logo? Still shot it. Take a screenshot of it. Let me see if I can get the glare out of this. No, I can't get the glare. Too many lights on. All right, so you've seen it, right? Take a still shot of it. Now I want to put that on cups and mugs and stuff like that. So what do you think of that logo, guys? Jesus, man, I got to get a new stand. I hate this stand. I need a new stand. There we go. So you sold a few items. Hold on, let me read your comment here. Hold on. Got to put the glasses back on. I'm squinting and trying to see the damn text. How long time? Lucas, how we doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, I was sick. Oh man, I had all kinds I just got gastric bypass surgery. If you watch this video from the start, um, if you watch this stream from the start, I go through the whole process of what I went through the last week. Last Thursday at this time, I had gastric bypass surgery, and I'm not going to go elaborate more than that because I've already repeated myself a couple of times on here. But the diet is tough. The surgery is really tough. I was out for 6 hours under the knife. Um, but now I'm going to be losing a ton of weight. Yeah, no more Ozempic. I'm no longer diabetic. I lost my diabetes completely. They cured me of diabetes with the surgery. So I'm extremely excited for this, guys. You have no idea. Damn, my hat looks so big on my head now. Holy shit. I need to get a smaller hat. Definitely gonna need a smaller hat. This looks too big. Every time that goes off, it's the alarm. I'm just taking some more shake here. What time is it? 8:47. Yeah, I need two more of these. I'll drink one of these and then one water. I'm getting a little behind because I'm talking to you guys. Now I'll drink a water. I need a little more water than I normally take. So, yeah, I think the logo looks a lot better. The other logo I had looked too cartoonish. So I'm going to put that. Now, here's another thing I want to show you guys. This is going to be in black because I don't want red or any kind of gold or anything of color on the mask. But this this is going to be turned into a stamp, and I'm going to put it on the inside of the mask. Are these eyes? Check them out. That's my inside stamp to my mask. I think I have a smaller. Yeah, it's actually this size. Get out of there. It's 2.5 by 1 inch high, 2.5 inches long by 1 inch high. That's the actual size right there. Now that'll all be black. There won't be any red because that can bleed through the latex. You don't want any colors because it'll bleed through the latex and you'll see it coming through the surface of the paint scheme on the outside of the mask. You don't want that to happen. So that'll be in the neck, probably towards the back of the head on the inside of the mask. But this will all be black. The eyes will be just white, clear. There won't be any color in the eyes. Come on. Focus. See, there's a delay from the time I did that to what you're seeing. Yeah, they're going to be my monsterized stamp for inside the mask. I got a guy that's going to make that stamp for me. So all I have to do is ink it and plop right on the mask. And it's got to be a special ink that won't bleed through. And the only kind of ink that doesn't is like that magic marker, black magic marker. So I'm going to get whatever ink that's in that magic marker. These markers, these Sharpie markers. If I have that upside down, the stuff that's in this is what I need for that stamp for the ink. Anyway, guys, that's the update. That's what I've been doing. That's tomorrow I'll start filling some of these holes and fixing these masks, and I'll do it live so you guys can see it. And yeah, we should have beautiful masks. So now I never have to worry about air bubbles again. I can fix everything. I can fix it all. So I'm growing a Wolfman Jack style goatee. I don't know that I like my hair's not tight. It's not, doesn't look tight enough for me. I like it. I want it to be wider here. And a little bit further under the chin. So I'm going for the Wolfman Jack, but I'm going to take, and I want this area here to fill out all the way down. But I need my shit tight. I don't like anything loose. My wife saw a picture with me with the goatee that I want to put on me. And she was like, yeah. She liked it. She likes my goatee. She really does. She likes the goatee. That's why I never got rid of it. I actually have gotten used to it, used to me wearing one. Some people can't stand hair on their face. I can't stand it on my head. I shave my damn head all the time. I got a little peanut. They call it a peanut. It's a real small trimmer. I just cut all that shit right off. I don't care. I wear hats 90% of the time, so it's just going to be funky. That's all. But I'm going to have to find something a little bit less bulky on my head because my head looks thin compared to this hat and this mask, this hat. That thing looks like it's floating on my head. I mean, look at that. Look how wide that is on my head compared to how narrow my face is. Yeah, there's a lot of changes going on in me right now. Crazy. And I'm also thinking about getting braces, guys. I want to get braces, invisible ones behind the teeth. Get my teeth straightened out. Who says it's never too late? Who says it's ever that it is too late? I'm 64 and I'm going to get my shit straight. I have good teeth, you know, little discolor, but the only reason, because I can whiten them more than what they are. The problem is my partial plate is a little darker. So I want my teeth straightened. I don't like them like this. I keep my teeth very clean. I have a very clean mouth. Always carrying good breath. Always got good breath. But they're so crooked. I want to get the teeth fixed. All right, guys, I'm getting tired. I'm winding down. I still got to have my my broth. I haven't had any broth yet. I had it this afternoon at noon. It's time for more broth, and then I got to take my sugar and my blood pressure medicine at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to bounce off of here, and I'm going to bid you guys tonight, but I'm going to come back on tomorrow night. There's another mask. That's another one right there. And there's the master clay sculpt right over there. And I'm going to be working on my studio and really making it nice, man. I'm gonna formica once I'm well. I'm gonna formica my countertops here. Let me show you. See, I have this plastic down right now, this white shit, and then the rest is all carpet that's underneath of this. I want to rip up all the carpet and I'm going to formica, a black formica all over this. And I know how to do that stuff. So I'm going to take some contact cement, put it on the black formica, and then put it on the wood itself. Wait about 15 minutes and then put it down and just piece it in. But I like a black formica on the counter. But that's my plan. I got a lot of things I'm going to do in the studio. You'll see. It's going to be pretty wild. Got some cool stuff that I'm going to be working on. Next winter, I'll be doing the Stan Winston School of Art online to really refine and get better at this craft. So that's the plan. So guys, thank you for joining me on the stream. Thank you for all the well wishes. It was a rough week. I'm going to tell you, this first 2 to 3 days were brutal. So yeah, that first 2 to 3 days after surgery were really hard. But after that, it started to lighten up and I was able to walk around. I was getting out of the bed and getting around a lot better. Nurses were like, yo, you ain't 18 years old. You better calm your roll a little bit, honey. That's how they said it to me. I thought, that's funny. Because they couldn't keep me down. I'm just like, I'm not that guy. I'm just full of piss and vinegar, as they say. It's the old school in me, baby. So I just got to keep pushing. Man, I need carbohydrates. Where the hell am I going to get them at? You know what? I'm going to have one of my carb steadies. That'll help me with some carbohydrate. I need a little bit. I'm really weak. Ah, you know what? I better not, because they told us to strictly stay with protein for this week. But man, I need some carbs. I feel really lethargic and tired. I'm not sick or anything. I'm not dizzy or any of that stuff. That's why I got to keep an eye on my blood pressure, my sugar. Everything has to be monitored for the entire week. I have until next Thursday before I start really changing my diet. I go to the doctor's on the 9th for a checkup. I got to go all the way up to Voorhees, which is about an hour and 15 to an hour and a half away. But once they look at me, they're going to be like, whoa. And I'm going to come armed, baby, because I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm writing out everything I've done for the entire week. So I'm just anal about stuff like that, man. Doctor's not going to have any questions on what I've done. Not going to be trying to dig from memory either. It's all written down. Anyway, guys, peace. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the well wishes. Please like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel and I will be growing this channel. I'll be becoming a lot more dedicated to. Just a minute. Gotta wait. Yeah, so okay, I'm still on. I want to thank everybody for subscribing and hitting the like button. We just got another person. You're going to have to watch this video from the beginning. It's an hour and 25 minutes long. It explains everything that I've been through. this week. And through the gastric bypass, I explained everything that I did and how I had to do it and what went on and the whole 9 yards. But I do have a lot of stuff coming up, things I want to do, and I want to add it to the. This room's going to get fixed up. It's going to become a real workshop when it comes to doing, mask making and everything I need to make, everything I need to do. All right, what am I after here? I need what's my schedule like right now? Gatorade, I already did that. What time is it? It is 9:01. Yes, I got to get off of here, guys. I got to go take my heart medicine and stuff. Peace. Love yous. See you on the next stream. And that's going to be tomorrow night. We're going to do some work. All right, guys. See ya.